It's Jaden, and today we're going to talk about pages 85 to, oh no, I forgot. Oh yes, it was pages 85 to 78. And so I know you might be like, hey, 85 is the middle of a chapter. Yes, I know that, right? And so I just did that way, but you can see here that there's a pause, so we're just gonna start right here and keep on, okay? We're gonna keep on going from there. And so, we're right now with Esperanza, right? And so, now Esperanza and then Alfonso and Hortensia, and then Esperanza's mother, and of course, and everybody else, right? Miguel, and they have arrived at Los Angeles. Now, do you think that this is like a good thing, like, and it's something to be celebrated about, or because it's farther from Mexico, it should be a sad thing? What do you think? Well, then a campesino. So it said. And so I'm gonna just read this, okay? It says this: a campesino family waved at them. Juan and Josefina each held a baby about a year old in their arms, and goes on and on, right? So first of all, I just wanted to say that the J sound like H's, so it's like Juan and Josefina. And it's same with here. Like I live in San Diego. It's also near to La Jolla, but Jolla, it actually starts with a J. So at first I pronounced it as La Jolla, but then I was like, and someone was like, no, it's La Jolla. And so now I know it's La Jolla, not La Jolla, which isn't the best name anyway. So anyway, so it says a campesino family. And campesinos are sort of like the field workers, like, you know, a lot of campesinos were working for Esperanza and their father and mother when they back at the ranch, right, the good old times. And it wasn't, but now a campesino family, it's a thing that Esperanza and her mother depend on. So, like this change, what would you call this? I would call it very ironic, right? It's ironic. And so, yeah, here, now a campesino family is waving at them, you know, and if Esperanza, you know, just, if she had been in her, if she had still been in her, you know, like when she was still rich, do you think that she would have waved back? No, right? And so anyway, so, you know, Esperanza isn't happy, right? She's just sort of like gritting her teeth at times, really annoyed. Why do you think that she is like that? Shouldn't she be happy that she survived? What do you think? Well, just that the fact that your father died, now you're poor, and your house is gone, everything is burnt down. 99% of all that you had is either killed or gone, you know, burned down. And so now you have to flee your home country. I mean, yeah, it is pretty terrible. It's something that is hard to get over. But still, do you think that Esperanza is treating everybody really fairly? No. But do you understand? Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah. So, just quickly, I wanted to say about Esperanza's feelings because that's really important. Okay. Now, do you think that Miguel should have like talked about how Esperanza lives and all that, like to his letters to Isabel? Like, why isn't she so annoyed about that? that? You know, she's just like, what has he been writing about me, you know? And she's a little irritated and annoyed. So, do you think that like this place is a very good place to live? You know, as we go into the mountains, like, is this just a good place to live here? I mean, no. And it's really hot. Imagine working out in this heat. Could you do that? Well, I would faint. Well, I could do it, but I would still faint and I'll get badly sunburned. And what are a few negative reasons, and I'm pretty sure you can come up with a lot more than few, about being a campesino, well, in America, just field worker. And you know, you can also think of the conditions that the field workers face. You know, they didn't have a good proper home, no hot water or cool water, you know. Not unfair, really hot. I could do more, right? Hot, get sunburned, not much money, and there's like 10 billion more, but I'm not gonna get into that, you know? And just be like, negative reasons about being a field worker. Lots are gonna come out, but that doesn't necessarily mean that being a field worker is terrible. I'm just saying that, like, the house is really bad. I mean, no pay, no hot water. I mean, that's terrible. So yeah, that is like I hope that these days things will be better. Field workers actually got good houses, good pay, and like, I mean, of course the sun isn't gonna become less hotter, but you know, those should be improved. Okay, now so were you surprised that Isabel, she's 8 years old and she still hasn't gone to school? I mean, could you believe that? How old are you? And have you gone to school? Well, I'm right now 9 years old, and I'm right now in 4th grade. So yeah, you know, I'm 9 years old. I'm in 4th grade. Isabel is only 1 year younger than me. And when I was 8 years old, I was in 3rd grade. But she's right now just starting school. Do you think that Isabel, like, why do you think that she started school really that late? And do you think that Esperanza, like, do you think that it helped her perspective about Isabel after that? Not much, right? And if you have an Esperanza, how would you have felt, because now you were in just this hot, strange land and it was miserable, right? How would you feel? She's miserable, she's angry, she's more than irritated, and she's just sad and lonely, and even though the anger is sort of like a mask to cover the sad and loneliness, right? It's just like and when we're sad and lonely, at times that can turn into anger, which at times we can blast out at others, which isn't good, but at times that does happen. Okay, now, so, Isabel, she has lived in tough conditions, right? And do you think that an 8-year-old girl like Isabel do you think that she deserves these living conditions? No. But why didn't that they're stuck in this then? Why didn't that they can't move up? Well, probably because like they can't get good jobs, right? Mexican Americans, people who have immigrated, they just don't have they don't get paid much, and they aren't in high places. So yeah, it's pretty sad. Okay. Now, so do you think that Esperanza's grandmother is going to come, or do you think that she's either gonna die or she just isn't gonna have the money? And do you think that Esperanza will ever actually go to high school, or do you think that she won't have the opportunity because there's no grandmother? What do you think? And so we learned Esperanza hasn't gone to high school yet, and let's say that she doesn't, okay? Because we aren't very sure, but for the people who think that maybe Esperanza, Esperanza's grandmother is not gonna come, and maybe she's not gonna go to high school, what would it be like to you? I know some people hate school and you would be like, awesome, right? But think of like the disadvantages. And if it's a little hard to make yourself go into the 1930s, then you could do it to present day, which is the 21st century. Even though the only annoying thing about these videos is I am not sure how long this video might last. It might last to the next century because YouTube, I'm pretty sure, will be around for a few centuries. Even if it like becomes like 3D, I don't know, and maybe it will also become so like you can actually go into the videos. I am not very sure. Maybe we'll be able to do that in the 22nd century. I don't know, but I do know that for right now, I am in the 21st century, and since I'm only 9 years old, and I took this in 2022, and if you're watching this in the 22nd century, then I'm just gonna say that I missed out a lot. I mean, seriously, I really wanted the 3D YouTube. Well, anyway, so yeah, but so just think about it as present day. What would be the problems of not going to high school? One, I mean, job? Not very likely, because you need to at least do high school to get most jobs. I mean, things that don't need like math skills or stuff, maybe not, but most jobs, like a scientist, doctor, I mean, and stuff like that, you'll need to know some math, right? And like high school also makes you learn, it goes into the depths of a lot, and even though I'm not in high school, I know enough that even if high school is complicated, it's like one of the main boosts of your brain. So yeah, and I could think of 10 more reasons, but I mean the book is right now begging me, okay? See, the book is begging me. I am begging you. See? Okay, now, do you think that so it said that, so the place that they're in, the book describes them as the brown barren mountains. Can you imagine a scene? I don't have to imagine because I'm in California and I've been over in Los Angeles, and the mountains are really brown and barren. I mean, they're dry they're really dry. Let me just tell you that, okay? Now, so do you think that, so Esperanza goes because she wants to hear the heartbeat, right? Did you think that just before, right? Did you think that she was going to hear the heartbeat? I have a feeling no. But why wouldn't she? And so now we have, right? Why didn't she feel her heartbeat? And like, do you think that there really is a heartbeat out there? Do you think it's her imagination or her own heart? You know, like if you do this, okay, it's not working, but that's only because I'm sort of crouching. I mean, maybe you can hear your own heart beating, right? Thump, thump, thump. I've done that before and it does work. And so maybe that's it. Whatever, so like just believing that the earth has this heart. Why do you think that is sort of, does it sort of comfort you in a way? It does to me. But why do you think that she can't hear it? Maybe she just doesn't have like the energy, or maybe she's just too worried to hear it, Or maybe she's just thinking about, she just has so many other things on her mind. Maybe those are clouding up the heartbeat. I do not know, but those might be something, right? And so if you have an Esperanza, and now one of the only connections to your father, and now it isn't working, in the very place that you're gonna have to be forced to live in. Well, not forced, but then again, you don't have much choice. Well, you do have a choice, and that would be to go out into the brown, barren mountains and face the harsh environment, which I'm pretty sure I would die in about 3 days. So yeah. Okay. Now, so do you think that, and so I just wanted to also say that, how did you feel? The thing is, Miguel suddenly came, right? And do you think that Miguel sort of understood how she felt, Esperanza felt? I think so, right? And why didn't Esperanza didn't let go of Miguel's hand? Do you think that shows something? And do you think that Miguel, Esperanza might be a little nicer to Miguel? I don't know, but maybe, right? And so now we are going to go to the new place where Esperanza is going to live. Now, were you very impressed? No offense to Esperanza, but, well, actually, Esperanza would agree with me, so no offense to Isabel, but that place is not my idea of living. I live in a 2-story house on a street in San Diego. It's right next to a park and a school. Well, not right next. It's a 5-minute walk from a park and a school. It has running water, hot and cold. It has electricity, as you can see over here. It has computers, it has phones, it has phone chargers, and it has lights, and it has pillows, and it has a lot of things that these people don't have, right? And also, you know, Esperanza wondered something, and it was, just how can Isabel be so happy about those little things? What do you think? Why do you think so? And are you at times happy about little things, or are you only happy about the big important things? Well, the big important things are big things to be happy about, but just the little things are also important, you know? Just the fact that maybe you saved about 5 minutes worth of energy by flicking off the lights is something. Now, so do you think that just from this, can you make a picture of it in your mind? Would you like to live here? Definitely not. Please do not recruit me to go there. I'm not going. And so now these two girls came, and one of them was Marta, right? And just from the first experience of Marta, do you think that she's gonna be a nice kind of character to Esperanza in the book? No, right? She's gonna be sort of one of the enemies. And do you think that Marta is very welcoming? Does Esperanza deserve this kind of welcome? But and also, why didn't Marta's that way? And if you have been Esperanza, how would you have responded to this? I would have just ignored her, I didn't hear her. Even though, that would be what I would do. But anyway, so do you think that Marta is really kind and forgiving? And also, well, that's sort of the last question. And also, do you think that Esperanza, right? Do you think that Marta is helping Esperanza's, point of view on where she's gonna live? No. So Marta's just making everything worse. Now, so do you think that, separating all of these Mexicans and Oklahoma people and Japanese and Philippines, do you think that's actually going to help? And do you think that they're actually going to riot or not? I'm pretty sure they're not going to riot, but, Mexican with Mexican people? It would be good to meet other people, but, Mexicans with Mexicans, it isn't bad, but they should be together. That's what I think. A big, happy family. Not just a Mexican family. A family of Mexicans, Oklahomians. Is that how Oklahoma people are? Are Oklahoma people called Oklahomians? I don't know. Well, and also there's the Philippines, and then the people from the Philippines, and then there's a Japanese camp and everybody, right? Everybody will be together, which is amazing, right? Awesome. Now, also, do you think that, the life isn't going to be that bad? And by the end of the book, do you think that Esperanza is really going to just get settled in? I think so, at least hopefully. And now, we are going to go to Las Cabulas. I'm hoping I say that right, and which is called onions. Now, so, do you like private toilets and those toilets in those campgrounds and those porta potties, those dawns? Do you like them? Now, do you think that, do you think that everybody actually can fit it in this small house? And if you have been Esperanza's mother, how would you feel about Esperanza? This doesn't have to be a simile, just be one word. I feel a little embarrassed and disappointed by Esperanza. She just got saved and now she's talking about, and now she said, Mama, we are living like horses. How can you sing? How can you be happy? We don't even have a room to call our own. Exactly, right? I mean, yeah, I would be disappointed, right? And do you think that Esperanza should say sorry? Yeah, but do you still understand why Esperanza would act that way? I know, but still, she shouldn't have acted that way. So, do you think that Esperanza, like, if you have an Esperanza, would you thought of yourself as lucky? No. And just from what Esperanza's face, do you think Esperanza's lucky? She's technically lucky, but if nothing had happened like that, that would have been 10 times better. No burning house, no killing Papa. That would have been better. So she has bad luck, at the same time she has good luck. So that's a little complicated, but I know we can handle that, right? Yeah, I think that we can. Now, do you think also about Isabel, right? Do you think that Esperanza maybe makes Isabel sort of ashamed of how she lives? Well, no, right? Because this is all opinion, but I don't think so. Because Isabel likes where she lives. She isn't like Esperanza, and she doesn't get altered because she likes the small things in life, which is good. And I'm pretty sure that Esperanza is also gonna feel that way soon enough. Yeah, I've read all the way to the book, but I've now forgotten. So, yeah, you can count on me to be honest about that. I will not spoil. Okay, now, so do you think that Esperanza, what do you think that she's gonna really do? Like, do you think that she should just work? Or do you think that she should just watch after the babies? I'll be like, because working is hard. And I'll be like, I'm gonna enjoy it when I can, And when I get to work, I'll be crying. Yeah, so I'm just gonna try to enjoy my time. Okay, let's see. Let's go through the book. And then, do you think that Esperanza is gonna make a total fool of herself and she's not gonna be able to do anything? I've read books like this, so I thought so. And I was really right. And do you think, we learned that it's before 6:30 in the morning. Do they have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning? When do your, anybody okay, who goes to work, when do they go? My dad, he wakes up at 7 o'clock, and then he drives off at 7:30, and he just arrives at work, I don't know, about at 8 o'clock, 8:10, 8:20? I'm not sure, but about that, and then he works the whole day. And then my mom once had a part-time job. Well, that was only part-time, and that started at 12, so that doesn't really count. But still, not at 12, somewhere else. 8? No, is it 9? I don't know. I have no clue. But anyway, my parents, they do not go at 6:30 in the morning. I have only waken up, so I have never woke up at 6:30 in the morning. Even though some of my friends have woken up at 5. I don't know how they do it, but they have. It's a miracle. True miracles can happen. Even though I have never experienced a miracle, I am hoping I will. Okay, well, I have experienced a few miracles, but let's not go into that. Now, do you think that Esperanza is going to enjoy her life here? Well, not at first, but I think that she's going to settle in. Now, so Isabel, Isabel introduces her friend Sylvia, right? And do you think that Esperanza still has a heart? When she holds Sylvia's hand? Yeah, she does, right? So Esperanza is not totally bad, but But what are a list of things that maybe you would give her that she might improve on, like an improvement list? Of course, maybe sign it anonymously or Esperanza will come after you. But let's not think about that. Okay, 1, stop complaining. 2, try to think about the good things. 3, maybe try to be happy. 4, be more helpful. Oh, she's already tried to helpful, so erase 4. And what about 4 would be happy, because that would also make everybody else happy. You know, that one of their guests one of their I guess I'll just call them guests because one of their neighbors, one of their friends is happy. Okay, and 5, I'll put. Actually, I don't have 5. You know, those 4 really cover it up. I'm gonna sign it anonymous. Mailed it. The unfortunate thing is, maybe Esperanza by now is like, deceased, passed away, because this was started in the 1930s, and she's about 14 years old, and then, I'm gonna round it to the 1940s, and then right now it's 2022. That would be 82 years, and then because she's 14, that would be 96 years. So unless she's 96 years old, I don't have much hope. Okay, now, and besides, I'm pretty sure that she changed by now. Now, do you think that Esperanza is really liking this? And if you had been, and then the thing is, Isabel is doing things that Esperanza just can't do. How do you think Esperanza feels about this? She feels sort of ashamed that she doesn't know, but do you really blame her about that? Like that she doesn't even know that? No, right? She had a soft life back then. And now, so, Esperanza, the thing is, she doesn't even know how to sleep. Now, raise your hand if you know how to sleep. Now, I have only slept a little in my life, but I can sleep a good. I mean, my mom was really impressed when I swept the whole around the doormat and also under the doormat. She was really impressed. After that, everything was clean, like no dust at all. But anyway, so I have to say maybe Esperanza has to improve on that. I mean, were you surprised? I was very surprised, but I mean, I can't say no offense though, because she was, everybody did her cleaning and stuff for her. Now, so we are now going to go to Marta's also really teasing her, right? This is not helping. If you had been Esperanza, what would you have said? I would have just said, I wouldn't have said anything. I would have just glared and possibly, I don't know, but I would really glare. Let me just tell you that. And so, do you think that Isabel, when Esperanza asked, does the whole camp know? Do you think that Isabel should have said yes? Or do you think that she should be like, no, just for Esperanza to feel better? She shouldn't have just said yes. I mean, that will just make Esperanza feel better, but I mean, she has to be honest at times. Okay. Now, do you think that Esperanza, do you think that she's actually gonna manage the hardships in housekeeping? Oh yeah, that was pretty good. I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to add that into my brain just in case I'm gonna use it again. And also, do you think that Miguel is just getting treated unfairly at the railroad place? And if you had been Miguel, what would you have done? What would you have done to, sort of maybe strike? I would have been like, hey, no, I'm awesome at this. Yeah, I'm awesome at this, and I'll show them, but it's just really unfair at times. Now, do you think that Esperanza really, is everything sort of hard, all of them, right? But do you think that they're gonna actually survive and Esperanza's actually going to survive? Or do you think that she's going to fail. And do you think that Pam Moon knows Ryan? Do you think that she made a happy ending and Esperanza was happy and she got back to Mexico? Or do you think Esperanza was happy but she didn't get to Mexico? What do you think? Or maybe she's gonna get settled in the United States. What do you think is going to happen? Because I don't know, you know, is she gonna keep on living in the same place but be happy? Or I am not very sure because I have forgotten the rest of the book. I'm rereading, but hopefully it gets into a good end. All I remember is, I don't remember. Oh yes, I remember something, but I'm not gonna spoil it. I remember to not spoil. Now we're going to Las Almendras, which is almonds. So now, do you think that Esperanza is suffering more, or do you think that Mama or Hortensia is suffering more? You know, Mama and Hortensia, they're suffering more than Esperanza because they work harder, right? And then we now see, you know, Miguel and Alfonso. They got the roses, right? Were you surprised? And what's this maybe a symbol of, you know? Like a symbol of hope, maybe, in this dry, barren land, sort of like in this desert. Like roses will be a symbol of hope. And, oh yeah, I like roses. Oh yeah, and if you really want if you really like stories about roses, read The Little Prince. I hope that I didn't spoil anything, but The Little Prince, I loved it. It was I'm getting mixed up. It's one of my all-time favorite books. Okay. Now, so, okay, now, were you surprised that all Miguel done and didn't that he's trying to, and Alfonso, do you think that they're both trying to make Esperanza settle in, sort of? Yeah. And do you think that soon enough this will be their own rose garden and that maybe they're gonna add to it and make it beautiful? Yeah. And can you imagine how this will be a few years later? It's gonna be beautiful, right? More and more roses are going to grow. It's gonna go up, and it's gonna be just really beautiful. Yeah, I can imagine that. You know, and the lady, and what was it, like that statue? What was the statue's name? It was Our Lady of Guadalupe. It's gonna just cover her, go up and up and up. It's going to be just really beautiful. Everybody will probably envy them. Okay, so now now we're gonna go to the bath part, right? And so Esperanza, she did this, right? She wanted Hortensia to undress her. Now, even Isabel knows how to undress her. And like, what is it like to you? I'm pretty sure that you can undress yourself. If not, then, well, try to undress yourself. But I'm pretty sure you can. I can, see? And I can do the rest, but not gonna do actually everything because it'll show my body. Well, I'm already showing my body here, but I think that you know what I mean. And so, like, what are the few things that you can't do? And everybody's sort of like, you can't do that? Like, what is it like that? You? Well, I mean, I'm mostly average. I don't really have those kinds of things, but mostly kids are like, you don't have that game? What the? Or they're like, you don't even play video games? What? Or they're like, you haven't watched that PG-13 movie? What? Or you haven't watched the PG-13 movie that just came out and also played Roblox? I mean, not Roblox. I mean, just that video game? What? Yeah, and I do not play any video games, for your information. And it's sort of like that. But that's the only thing, but like, I'm not ashamed of it. I love books more than video games. And I'm not just saying that for the camera. I actually told it to my mom, my dad, and my cousins. Well, not my cousins, but my mom and dad, my whole family. So do you think that Esperanza is what is like a few things that by the end of the book maybe Esperanza can do by herself? Maybe undress herself, do everything, be alone, right? I think that she's gonna do this by the end of our, by the end of our pages though, right? And already we only have this much left, so we're actually going through the book good and quick, you know, nice and clean. And why do you think that Esperanza really just enjoys this bath time? It's fun and merry and cheery, right? And they're all laughing. And do you think that Esperanza, you know, she's enjoying herself here for the first time in forever? And it just really reminds me of that Frozen song, which I had to hear a million times because my mom loves Frozen. Yeah. It wasn't torture, but if you have to hear it a million times, the reason I sniffed was because I'm mocking crying. It's just, if you just try to book the nearest insane asylum next to you. I like that song, but if you keep on listening to it, then soon it becomes murderous. Or maybe it's just me. Okay, now do you think that the Jamaica, right? I think it's the Jamaica. And if I did not, maybe it's a Jamaica. No, Jamaica. And if I'm not saying that right, put it in the comments. Then again, something told me that the YouTube video when I got it, it said the comments were disabled. But maybe I can just change that, or maybe I already changed that. I do not remember. Okay, let's see. Do you think that Esperanza is gonna enjoy and everything's gonna be amazing at the Jamaica? Or do you think that something is gonna happen? I don't know why, but I just knew that something bad was going to happen. But I also had a feeling that Esperanza was going to enjoy herself mostly. Now, and then we see, you know, and the kitten is really cute. But then Marta is here. Just the fact that Marta is here, how did you think she's gonna maybe ruin the Jamaica? Did you even think that she was gonna ruin it? I was like, Marta, alert, she is gonna totally ruin the Jamaica. That's what I thought. And so, Marta yelled, "This is what we are, small, meek animals. And that is how they treat us because we don't speak up. If we don't ask for what is rightfully ours, we will never get it. Is this how we want to live?" And then she held up the kitten, right? Is this really fair for the kitten? And do you think that the people are really really enjoying this? And also, do you think that they should strike? What are the good reasons and the bad reasons? The good reasons, maybe they might get more pay, better conditions, but bad reasons, they might get fired and they might not have any food. Not striking is smarter, but is Marta agreeing with that? No. So what might be sort of a life lesson that you might learn here? Maybe it could be, I don't know, I'll have to think about that. Maybe that could be, let's see. Sometimes sometimes good things might be bad, right? Like for example, one time I ate a lot of cake and then I got really sick to my stomach. But luckily I recovered in 10 minutes, but yeah, it was pretty painful. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was the frosting that got to me, but the frosting was my favorite part. I have no idea why that happened. So, do you think that, Marta is having a hard time here, right? And do you think that her strikes are really helping? No. And so do you think that she should just stop striking? And she has strike in her blood, right? Sort of. Maybe she shouldn't stop, but do you think that actually a strike is going to happen by the end, even if Esperanza doesn't join in? I just have a feeling maybe so, because things aren't going the best. It's okay, but not the best. It's not something that you'll be like, everything's going the best, right? You wouldn't say that. So, you have to expect everything. Maybe so, right? Who knows what is going to happen in the dangerous realms of this place. Yeah. Okay. Now, so do you think that recalling her old life is really painful to Esperanza, or do you think that she likes it? And what about you? To you, it would be pretty painful, and I would not like recalling. I would just be like, because I would be because now I lost all of that. Okay, so do you think that Mama really actually missed her dresses, or do you think that she was just being funny? Maybe she really did miss her dresses, right? And yeah, just from how she's acting, and Esperanza's laughed for the first time in forever. Wow, I'm really using the title of the song a lot. Do you think that Esperanza, by the end, was going to settle in? Just by the end of our pages, which is 178. Yeah, I thought so, which was good, right? Now, so do you think Esperanza will actually be really strong? And that prayer, do you think that actually will make Esperanza stronger in times when things are just really bad? I think so. And I think that Esperanza really is just going to do the right, amazing thing. I know it in my blood, sort of. And yeah, I know that she can do the good thing. Now, last Kirulas? I don't know. But anyway, my rough Spanish, it basically means plums. Well, not basically, it means plums. So, do you think that Isabel was really concerned about what Esperanza was gonna do? And did you think that everything was gonna work out? The thing is, I've seen that first times just never really work out for some reason in books. And so I had a feeling that maybe things were gonna work out. And amazingly, well, not that amazingly, I was right. So yeah, but I wasn't that surprised. But I was sort of surprised at the same time that things could become that bad. I did not know things could become that bad. Now, do you think that Esperanza actually is going to do everything right? Because Esperanza says, "I know," but do you think that she actually knows? I'm worried. Now, do you think that, the thing is, something's wrong with them, and that's the plum. So, by the time everything was, by the time everybody came back, do you think that Esperanza really felt like a failure? And do you think that everybody sort of knew that Esperanza messed up a little bit? Did they really mention anything? No. And do you think that Esperanza will do better next time? I think so. She has learned from her mistakes, and now she can actually do better, right? Because already she has learned a lot and she's doing better, but she just did that small mishap, right? So I think so. She's gonna do real better. But anyway, I just really wanted to talk about the cover for 1 second. Why isn't that Esperanza Rising? I'm pretty sure this is Esperanza. Did we sort of understand maybe the roses? Yeah, roses are a very important part. But why Esperanza Rising? Like, why would she rise? Is rising mean dying? What? What do you think it means? I mean, does it mean dying, or do you think it means some symbolic way? We see that the countryside below her, sort of the place where she might live, right? So she's sort of rising. It sort of means that she's strong and rising. What do you think it means? We're gonna have to find out, right? So, now, do you think that Pepe, right? All the babies, taking care of the babies, right? Do you think that that is too hard? And if you have an Esperanza, would you have liked taking care of babies? It'll be sort of a chore, but I like babies. But the only problem is about their diapers. I just like those diapers that you just throw away, those, and not the ones that you have to. Not the ones that you clean, put it on again, clean, put it on again, clean. Like that. Now, so Isabel said, "Wow." When Esperanza said, "Oh, okay, I gave them rice water," she was like, "Wow." And do you think that Esperanza actually got something right? Well, right. That was a coincidence. And Were you also surprised when the rice water worked out, or were you like, hey, Esperanza can't be that much of a failure? No offense to Esperanza, but I actually thought that was not gonna work out. But fortunately, it did. Whew. So that is good. But who knows what might have happened if Esperanza had not given the babies rice the rice water. Okay, now, so then the problem was about Pepe, right? And then there was Lupe. Lupe kept on disappearing. And if you have an Esperanza, what would you have in your favorite? I would like both really much, but I would like Pepe more because he wouldn't run away. He would just be like, Then again, I also like Lupe. I cannot choose about that. I like both of them a lot. Okay. The thing is, now a dust storm is coming. Just from what you know about dust storms, how can you imagine? Do you think it's going to be good for the workers out there? No, I can imagine everybody, maybe someone will inhale lots of dust, and that might be bad for the lungs, which might cause lung cancer, which might kill them. Yeah. So one of my grandfathers died of cancer. Luckily, I will never die of cancer. I want to die when I'm really old and when I'm not in cancer, with no cancer. Now, so do you think that they're actually going to survive and were you surprised that the dust, the dust storm was this strong? I thought so. And so do you think that everybody else out in the fields were going to survive? Because this dust storm is serious, right? And also, what did you think about there was supposed to be like a strike, but do you think that there actually was a strike? No, there will be no strike because of the dust storm. I sort of thought that, but actually, really, I didn't even really think about that. I was just too focused on the dust storm. I totally forgot about the strike. I was like, when Esperanza mentioned the strike, I was like, oh yeah, today was the day. I was like that, really. But if I had really remembered the strike, I would have, thought that. Okay. Now, do you think that Mama was actually okay, or do you think that this is going to lead to some serious disease? Or at least illness. I mean, not disease, illness. Now, yeah. Do you think that Mama really is actually going to die, or at least get really sick? Well, we are already she's really just, she's like burning fever. She's like unconscious. What do you think will happen? Do you think that she was gonna die? And if she died, do you think that Esperanza is actually gonna live through this? I mean, Esperanza has already lost so much. Now, if she lost her mother, how would it be like if this was a bridge, not the best bridge. Oh my knuckles just cracked. I don't want my knuckles cracked. If this was a bridge and Esperanza, Esperanza was on the top of that bridge, like right here. But then the bridge, which was sort of like Mama, helping Esperanza up, was like, Aah! And then it collapsed. Esperanza would go down into the river. And it would not be Esperanza Rising. It would be Esperanza Falling, which would not be good. Yeah, Esperanza Falling. If Pamunos Ryan ever makes another book about Esperanza Rising, like after that, maybe she'll call it Esperanza Falling. But why would Esperanza fall? She's in a good mood. I mean, she's awesome, so I'm pretty sure she's not gonna fall. Now, so the doctor came, and so and we now see that she has valley fever. And does valley fever? Do you think that she's actually gonna survive? Because even the doctor says, I think that she's gonna survive, but it's a thing, right? And maybe and he said this. He says if she survives, if a very confident good word in your opinion? No, it's like full of lots of questions. Not the best in my opinion. Well, not the best. No, I don't mean not the best. I mean really not the best. Terrible. That's what I mean. Yeah. Now, last papas. Papas. And I know that papas means potatoes. So now I have learned the Spanish word. Yeah, I love papas. I love one papas. I like uno papas. I like two papas. I like dos papas, and I like tres papas. I like one potato, I like two potatoes, I like three potatoes. Now, so do you think that Mama is actually going to get well from that fever? And yeah, really that fever is really gonna kill her. Maybe, not really, but maybe. And have you ever had this illness like this? It feels like it's gonna impossible to cure, and you feel really sick, and you maybe not die, but just really feel sick, and you're like, oh no, what's your worst time? What I wanted to talk about here, Esperanza began to croquet. And do you think that if Esperanza's grandmother ever comes, do you think that Esperanza's grandmother is going to be impressed? I cannot even croquet, so I'm impressed even if one of my friends or whoever I'm watching even just croquets one stitch. I'll be like, yeah, I would be impressed. I cannot even croquet. I don't even know the tools to croquet. Maybe I could, but that would be like this, and it would be crazy, and the people and Esperanza would be very disappointed in me. I mean, she wouldn't blame it though. Now, so let's go here, right? And so, do you think that Esperanza's mother actually gave up? And have you ever given up in something? And it doesn't have to be like the flu or anything. It just has to be anything. Now, so do you think that the hospital really is people go there to die? No, but do you know somebody who's died in a hospital? My grandfather, yeah, he's died in a hospital, but but mostly hospitals cure people. That's why I knew my stomach hurt so much at times. Okay, do you think that Esperanza should work or do you think that she doesn't deserve it? Should about 14, 13, a girl in her teens should work already in those places? No, but Esperanza is desperate, and this is actually going to help, right? And when this helps, but Esperanza is just gonna really work hard. So hopefully she actually is gonna complete everything. But do you think it's gonna be easy for Esperanza? I had a feeling that maybe she wasn't gonna fit in, but she actually is doing a good job. I was impressed, really. Okay, now does the work situation sound really good here? No, right? It sounds terrible. And would you like to work there? What's your idea of work? I mean, the baddest job, just in an office, that's 10 times, no, 100 times better than working in the fields. Now, so, did you know what potato eyes were? I sort of guessed, but I didn't know 100% about potato eyes. So I was like, it's like half. But yeah, I think I've seen a million potato eyes before. So now, do you think that Christmas is going to be similar to the other Christmases Esperanza had? Okay. So now I just wanted to talk about dolls, right? Not the dogs, the dolls. Are the dolls really impressive? Have you ever had stuffed animals that are more impressive than them? Well, I had a million stuffed animals when I was little. This is one of my stuffed animals. Hi. He says hi. And yeah, you can see here that I think it will be this guy is better than what Esperanza is doing, but it's better than nothing, right? Now, Christmas Day, right? Christmas Day, Esperanza goes to Mama. But before that, do you think that Esperanza is going to get anything? Oh, lots of love and a good feast, but I don't know. Maybe not. We don't know. And do you think that Mama actually is going to survive? And from the state that Mama is right now in, like what scientifically, and don't think because it's a book, because this book has been pretty sad, so we don't know, but scientifically, is there a big chance that she's gonna survive? No. Do you think that Esperanza has stopped hoping, or do you think that she still hopes? I think that she still hopes. And are you gonna keep on hoping, or are you gonna give up? Well, I'm gonna keep on hoping, even if chances are low. And I think that Esperanza, hopefully, is still going to, Esperanza's mother is going to survive. Wow, we finished that already. So I hope that you really enjoyed that. And I'm gonna ask a few last questions. What about, for example, what was your favorite part in the pages that we just talked about, which was pages 85 to 178? I remembered it. What was your favorite character and your least favorite character? My favorite character was Esperanza. My least favorite character, Marta. She tries her best to make everything good, but I think that she's just really causing trouble, even though you might have some different opinions. Then, how did you like the book? You know I love this book. It's really close to my heart. What about you? Well, if you don't like it yet, I hope that soon enough, it's going to be really close to your heart. And if you already like it, well, you're going to like it more soon enough. This is just an amazing book. Let me just tell you that. But I already think that you guys know. Now, finally, predictions. Do you think that Esperanza is going to get anything special for Christmas? Because they don't really mention it, but maybe they will. Or maybe you could, guess. And also, do you think that Esperanza is going to settle in? And do you think that Esperanza's grandmother is going to come? Do you think that Esperanza's mother is going to survive? Do you think that Esperanza is going to live like this for the rest of her life? Or do you think that she's going to become rich again? Rags to riches. Because she was just riches to rags. Now she's going to become rags to riches. We don't know. And maybe you can think of a few prediction questions that you made. I do not know. But if you do, then ask it yourself, answer it. But anyway, I hope that you really enjoy Esperanza Rising and keep on reading. You know why? Because it's awesome and it just makes your brain bigger and stronger. And yeah, I just hope that you really enjoyed. Bye! And Esperanza Rising says bye too. Bye!